Let me start off by asking you, we've faced the base realignment and closure process before.
The BRAC process, the base realignment and closure.
Yeah. We've faced that before here when Fort Ord closed. What would you do to protect the Defense Language Institute, the Naval Postgraduate School, and our other military installations?
I really can't give you a definitive answer about how we will treat any particular military base in any of the 50 states. I believe the United States needs to have a very strong military. It needs to be run in a cost-effective way. One area that I would move aggressively is to do away with these kind of cost overruns that we're seeing with many weapon systems.
Yeah.
I think we probably have far too many nuclear weapons that we need, and I think we may want to take a look at some of the military bases we have around the world in order to save the taxpayers money. But that's about as far as I can go at this moment.
Definitely. We have a large immigrant population here in Monterey County, and the agricultural industry relies a lot on seasonal workers.
Let me ask you, are many of them undocumented?
Oh yes, many of them are.
Mm-hmm.
And how would you work with Congress to get immigration reform done?
Well, there is no question to my mind that we need comprehensive immigration reform and a path towards citizenship. And I would hope that Congress does the right thing. But if Congress does not do the right thing, I will use the executive powers of the presidency to do everything that I can. I believe we have to end the current deportation policy. I believe our immigration policy should be to bring families together, not divide them up.
Yeah, definitely. One of our biggest issues here is water.
Yes.
Do you think the federal government should fund desalination plants and other ways to solve our water issues?
Well, I think the first thing that we should do is to effectively and aggressively combat climate change. And that means having the courage to take on the fossil fuel industry, having the courage to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to sustainable energy and energy efficiency. California is one of the areas in the world that has already, to a significant degree, felt the blunt of climate change. And you're experiencing an unprecedented drought. And if we do not get our act together, I fear very much that we're going to see more drought, more floods, and more rising sea levels in the coming years. So to me, working with countries around the world to move away from fossil fuel is a number one priority.
Definitely.
Also, I should tell you that I believe we have got to end fracking. I am very worried about the kind of clean water supply we're going to be having in years to come, and we just cannot afford to continue fracking.
Some polls and primaries have shown you struggling kind of to resonate with minority voters. Why do you think that is, and how have you been trying to change that?
Well, I think we have changed it. Right now, in a number of states that have already had their elections, we have won the Latino vote. Polls show us winning right now a majority of young Latinos. We're doing very well with young African Americans. And what we are seeing in this country right now, it's not just a racial divide, it is more of an age, generational divide. We are doing very well with young white kids, with young white people, young Latino people, young African American people, young Asian American people. And that's the major divide.
Yeah.
So it's more generational than it is racial.
Yeah, no, I have seen that. And lastly, let me just ask you, why did you choose to come here to Monterey? I know you've been to a lot of different cities.
Well, for two reasons. Number one, we are going all over the state. We are attempting and will succeed in doing what I think has not been done in modern California history. We're going to be in dozens of communities up and down the state. We're going to go to communities, not just San Diego or San Francisco or Los Angeles, but in towns where presidential candidates don't usually go. And I love doing that. I mean, I think people all over the state, all over this country, have a right to see candidates running for president, not just in big urban areas. So I enjoy these types of meetings, and it looks like we're going to have a pretty big turnout tonight.
Yeah, speaking of people outside, a lot of them were really happy that you came here, that, they said stuff like this never happens in Monterey.
That's right.
We never have a presidential candidate.
Well, that's right, and that's why I love to come.
Definitely.
Okay?
Thank you for your time, Senator. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.